Welcome, everybody. It is the funnest day of the year. It is NVIDIA earnings day, and I'm here with my best friends in the universe, JR, Derrick, and Sami. So how is everybody doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Hey, doing great.
Okay. All right, everybody in the chat, say hi, because it is magic time, and you're gonna see and hear things you absolutely won't believe. Okay, guys, so come on, freaking StreamYard. All right. I feel like I'm getting kind of bored to death in this market. Am I wrong? I don't know what it is. It just feels like there's not a whole lot of excitement about there. Am I incorrect? Feel free to jump in, anybody.
I think at the index level, you're very correct. It's been a classic August trading session, very tight intraday, but the tight intraday action has led to a lot of dispersion underneath the surface, which has actually created for good price action in individual stocks to be able to make some money. And that's great. We saw a bit in August here, some of the biggest leaders, Palantir, Nvidia, AMD, weaken out a little bit. Now Nvidia is back up right into its report, but then you started seeing the IWM go, you started seeing some value names go, some energy names, mid caps, some small caps. So it's still been a decent trading environment as long as you're not focused really on the S&P and the NASDAQ.
Okay, JR, last week you were talking about how you were just trading the junky stuff. Are you still engaging in this activity?
I've been waste management consulting full time. Yes.
And how's that been going? Have you been doing any deals along those routes in New Jersey?
Yeah, I've been stopping by Satrioli's, saying hi to Silvio every day. It's been good. I mean, you've got these names at TRVI today. I missed that one, but RR, STSS. I mean, who are these people? I don't know. But we're catching these ridiculous moves every day, trading a lot of the pre-market, which I don't always do, but it's been crazy. So these pre-market moves, 100, 200%. It's totally nuts. So okay. I'm going with the flow.
Okay, cool. I believe I put in the bottom on IWM like a couple of weeks ago, and I said we're not going to talk about it anymore. And then, of course, it just friggin' goes straight up. So, Sami, what do you think of the action out there?
I think the IWM is clearly leading right now, and it has a shot at going back up to 245 or so, the number that I gave last week. I said it looks higher to 240 something, the prior high on the monthly chart. It might be. Is it the all-time high? Yeah, it might be the all-time high. It's headed back up there. That's where it's headed to.
Okay, all right. Our good friend Itz is saying what NVIDIA says about China will dictate direction more than earnings, which need to be blowout. Okay, so this is obviously the big topic today. Remember when Apple used to be? I feel like nobody even cares about Apple earnings anymore. I feel like NVIDIA is now the event of the season. So it looks like expectations are high. The stock's gone up a ton. We had Meta, Google talking about their CapEx spending going through the roof. Anybody have a hot take on NVIDIA earnings in terms of how they're going to do and what the stock can do tomorrow?
The chart looks higher. So that's what I like about it. I'm planning to play it long. It doesn't look phenomenal, unfortunately. I have some other names that probably look better, like the Pure Storage Inc., PSTG. NTAP also probably looks better than the NVIDIA, but I'm planning, and Vive, that looks pretty good too. But I'm planning to play it long. It looks okay. Long. I'm scanning the list right now, the earnings list as we speak. But I think NVIDIA is good to play long.
Okay, well, Sami, that puts you on the side of Tom Lee because Tom Lee said he expects like blowout and a big rally. Okay, JR, you and I have talked about AI and all those things a million times. Are you doing anything with NVIDIA into the report tonight?
I'll just probably play it when it comes out. It's going to be nice and volatile. There's a bunch of potential surprises in terms of supply and testing that NVIDIA has been struggling with. It could be warnings, but beyond that, they're low on chip testers, the actual testing units. that could be an issue. But beyond that, I expect them to blow out their numbers.
Okay, did you say they're low on shit testers? I did not know they needed those. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a quality control issue.
Okay. All right. Yeah, NVIDIA definitely needs to get their shit testing together. Okay, let us know in the chat, everybody. Are you playing NVIDIA long or short into the report? So, Derrick, what do you think of NVIDIA here? Is it, no go? You're just going to wait and see?
Sure. So I'm probably going to hold some short into the report, but I do have a call spread on to hedge that short. But I'm going to be holding some short into the report. What I think about it is honestly very mixed, and you can never count this company out. So there's a couple of things I'm trying to balance in my mind. One is that the technicals seem to be generally bullish here, especially above like 184. There's a big breakout above 184 where this thing starts to look fantastic again. The other side of what I'm weighing is a couple factors. One is that everybody's already long the thing. I saw a note from Goldman Sachs this morning that says positioning is a 9 out of 10 for the stock. And I saw a different note that said short exposure in Nvidia is the lowest that it's been in years. So there's not really any shorts out there to get squeezed in this thing, and there's not necessarily a whole ton of new longs that can come in and buy the stock either. That's not to say they can't go up if it reports a phenomenal earnings. There's a couple of things that I would point out. One is that the expectations are, I think everyone knows this, very, very high. Pretty much everybody knows that they're going to beat and guide above. It's really just a matter of how big that beat is. If you give like an inline report in NVIDIA, the thing is going to get destroyed. And honestly, I'm looking at some of these other companies that have reported earnings so far this season. Some of the best reports I've ever seen were out of Microsoft and Meta. And there's been no follow through on those reports really at all to the upside. And those reports were phenomenal. The other thing that I would point out is pretty much every single semiconductor company that has reported earnings so far this season is traded down. Even if you look at like AMD's report, AMD is a perfect classic example of a stock that had a pretty darn good report. You can't look at that report and find any fault in it. And the immediate reaction on it was they traded it down. And I think that the trade was just too crowded, and that's exactly what happened. So I kind of think almost like bagel to head, NVIDIA's situation that you might see today is that they report numbers that are a pretty solid beat. You immediately see a move higher in it, but then that move higher gets faded because there's no one left to buy, and good might not be good enough to really sustain a larger up move.
Okay, Derrick, do you think NVIDIA's report will affect the market overall?
It depends on how big NVIDIA moves. I mean, it's the most important stock that's out there. An interesting thing that we've started to see here in the month of August that we were just talking about is a little bit of an unwinding of this AI trade these last couple of weeks. And that's been coming from a few places, including Sam Altman basically saying that AI is in a bubble and he is the ultimate, AI guy. And then I think that helped to damper sentiment a little bit. So if NVIDIA doesn't trade well here, it's going to have a big impact on the highest market cap companies. Therefore, that will have an impact on the SPY and the Qs, even if there's continued rotation under the surface, even if it's what we've been seeing where they're buying the short squeeze names, they're buying the IWM names. Buying the IWM names certainly helps the S&P to hold up, but the market cap of NVIDIA is so huge, and it also will impact every other big company that's involved in AI, right? Microsoft and Meta and Palantir and all of these companies. There's going to be a repercussion at the index level, provided that you get a big move from NVIDIA. And I would just point out, I'm not necessarily expecting this to happen, but the last NVIDIA earnings report, the stock finished down 0.3% at the end of it. It turned into a complete and utter nothing burger, but this is still the most important event of earnings season. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Mike,
I want to.
Can I share my charts for a second?
Is it a nice chart?
It's a very nice chart.
Okay.
You're gonna like it. Surprise! It's NVIDIA. So because we're talking about NVIDIA, I just want to show you something. You see how it tried to go lower here and then it failed, and you see how the first bar was the largest bar in this new direction and then on the way up. That tells me it's not going to have a gap down, much of a gap down. If we gap down, it's going to be probably very small I would be absolutely shocked if it actually gapped down to like 165 or so, because that would be the end of the uptrend on the daily chart. So I feel like the downside is very limited, and the upside is much higher, much greater, I should say, because it's right off the 20 and it's at the all-time high. So it can just blow through the prior highs and make new all-time highs. But on the way down, I highly doubt it would actually gap down very much at all. I would have liked it if the 20 MA was, that's the yellow line. If the 20 MA was under price, not going through price like it is right now, but it is what it is. I think it goes higher, not lower. And I think the downside potential is very low. In terms of Microsoft, the reason why it probably got sold, I was actually in it long on earnings, and I didn't exit at the open like I normally do. I should have in hindsight, because it was up, and then gapped up. So that was actually sell the news event in Microsoft. But in the case of Nvidia, it's been going sideways for the most part. So I don't think we will see that. I think actually Nvidia will gap up and maybe propel this market up with it. You see how the market is setting up long? So we'll see, but that's what I'm expecting. We'll see how it sets up between now and the end of the day. But look at the SPY. I mean, you can't argue against that. That's a beauty also. So yeah, that's my take on Nvidia. There are a couple other stocks that look good on earnings, but I like to finalize my list towards the end of the day. The PSTG looks okay. The VIV looks okay. They don't look perfect. NTAP I thought looked okay also. The HPQ doesn't look too bad long. Most of them are long, very few shorts. But again, I'll look at the 5. Looks amazing, except for the weekly chart. Those are all reporting, and I like them higher. They're on my bullish list, but I'll go over the list again towards the end of the day.
Okay, all right. Okay, JR. So I've been sort of getting an inkling that there's a feeling out there that AI overall is like feeling a little bubbly. Like MIT put out a study saying 95% of AI projects either made no money or resulted in no cost savings. Do you see any bubble aspects to AI?
No, I don't think the bubble's even remotely begun. You're going to have some initial capex from companies positioning and prototyping, but this isn't 1999 where we were extrapolating that the internet would do all these cool things for us, and we put up pets.com. We all shook our fists in the air and then lost all our money. That's just not it. You know what I mean? AI is applicable and serviceable now, and we're not at the tail end of a big spending spree. We're in the mere beginning, and we haven't even reached artificial general intelligence yet. I mean, everything that we're doing AI-wise is completely heuristic, right? AI doesn't reason yet, so we're in the baby stages of a massive revolution.
Okay, Jared, what is your prediction for when AI actually achieves AGI? Just throw out a random number because we can clip it later on and pretend that we took it seriously. So just say a number with a lot of confidence.
I'm so stupid.
You can't laugh. You have to be serious. You can't laugh.
2031. That sounds sci-fi.
All right, 2031. All right, everybody. I want everybody on this call to remember. JR predicts AGI in 2031. I don't think it's going to happen ever. But moving on. All right, we need to have a little stir up a little debate. We've had some heated arguments over the last weeks. Okay, so we definitely have to have some kind of food-related argument. Okay. It's the middle of summer. You're going to the movies. What snacks are you sneaking in with you? And I'll give you guys a minute to think. And I definitely want like one of those like French sandwiches, like very simple, like ham and butter on like a very crispy baguette with a Coke Zero.
And are you putting that in your pocket, in your back pocket, or how are you sneaking it in?
No comment, Sami. I can't give away secrets of tradecraft in public.
Okay.
Beef jerky. Yeah, actually, beef jerky works okay. Our good friend Eddie says beef jerky.
I have trained him well.
Now, JR, are you bringing like a tomahawk steak with you or something?
Listen, you got to defer to the cow, okay? Beef jerky makes the most sense. You put it in a pouch, put it in your jacket. It's got protein, minerals, vitamins, everything the body needs.
All right. Jacked Orange Man, we can't have these trashy comments. Please, let's keep it rated PG. Thank you very much. Okay, Sammy, Derrick, how about you?
Beef jerky, I agree. It doesn't make any noise, doesn't have a wrapper. It's got everything you need. I agree with you on this one.
But wait, are you talking about like that Jack Link's crap?
No, man, come on. What's wrong with you?
I know, because I get mine in Chinatown where it's like it's fresh. But yeah, that Jack Link's beef jerky, oh my god, it's like friggin' like a leather belt.
You get your beef jerky in Chinatown?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have a conversation offline, Kamo.
You're
getting jerky. I'm just not sure you're getting beef jerky, buddy.
Exactly.
I care about how I taste. I trust the guy to get the job done. Whatever it is, it tastes great.
It's more like pork jerky, probably.
I love pork, so I'm down with it. Okay, Derrick, how about you? What are you sneaking into the movies? And God, I hope it's not a Chipotle burrito.
So first of all, I gotta just say it. I went and I saw in the movie theaters weekend before last the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. They brought it back into the theaters, and it was awesome. And I just saw that they're gonna release the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back into the theaters next summer, and I'm already hyped for it. Otherwise, I really don't go to the movies anymore, but there's a good chance I'm gonna go see the new Downton Abbey movie because Downton Abbey's awesome. But I'm not sneaking any food into the movie theater. What is this? I'm not in high school anymore. And what I want when I go to the movies is a classic buttered popcorn. Extra butter, extra salt, clog up my arteries, get the big giant one so you can even refill that, and just stuff my face with popcorn. And now a lot of these movie theaters sell beer too, which is cool. So you can grab a beer, scarf down some popcorn, and not sneak things into the movie theater like a third-grade pauper.
All right, I'm gonna choose not to take that comment personally, but
it was very personal.
But the problem is most of these movie theaters, they don't sell anything. You know what they need to friggin'. Like Amazon needs to stick Whole Food. Amazon needs to buy movie theaters and just stick a Whole Foods in so I could eat like a human being. All right. Okay. Moving on. All right. It's time for the close of our show. I'm still thinking about selling my 5 shares of Tesla and rolling it into something else. So who's got ideas?
Good. I wouldn't. It's looking really good.
I know it's amazing that Elon Musk, he's doing so many spectacular things at that company. He's a hero to all of us. So
Derrick included.
Okay. Yes, we have a comment. Yes, our friend says Chinatown is great beef jerky made with real beef. Let me be clear. I don't care if it's real beef or not, as long as it tastes good.
You're eating white cat.
Yeah, these are some nasty people in the comments today. You people better not come back next week because I'm not going to stand for this.
Might be a donkey.
I bet I can get donkey somewhere in the city. Okay, all right. Who has ideas?
Oh, I didn't even think about that part. Let's see.
Shirts.
You're okay. Well, let me see. I haven't even prepared yet.
All right. Anybody else?
Derrick? I can share some shirts.
Second, I
like the SEDG.
Okay.
If you're not in it already, but it needs to trigger first. There were a couple of ideas, but they already triggered this morning. This one, if it can take out the prior high, I'm going back in. Looks amazing on the weekly, but only if we get it to take out 34.36 on the SEDG. That's my favorite idea. There are a couple of swing ideas that triggered. The VKTX, we'll see. I'm not expecting it to be a home run. This is like the REPL, when it gaps down a huge amount, bases, breaks out. This one went up 101% in one day. I'm not expecting the VKTX to do the same, but maybe it goes up to 30 or so. I don't know. I wasn't. Let's see. What else do I have that I like? Not a whole lot. Ring is maybe starting to look good on the weekly chart, weekly and monthly, but I'm not sure. This thing hasn't moved in a long, long time. So I'm just watching it. Let's take a look at the GEVO. GEVO looks good on the monthly. Weekly also looks good. The daily is kind of late, but GEVO is another one that I'm keeping an eye on, more or less. Let's take a look at the EBC that gapped up a little bit this morning, but I have a call on it. It had a nice hourly breakout, kind of like the CCL did yesterday. So not a lot. But yeah, my favorite is the SEDG if it can base for a couple of days and then take out that green bars high.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sami.
Sure.
Who else wants to step
Someone
up?
needs to tell Sami as he's buying these solar companies that the president of the United States literally just came out yesterday and said that he's done with solar. No more solar. If you're an American, no solar, no big, ugly, stupid windmills either. Send those to, I don't know.
Until he changes his mind in 10 minutes.
We're bringing back coal. So
Oh my
I
God.
don't know.
Look at some of the solar stocks, Derrick.
What?
It doesn't seem like they care. I mean, look at RUN, look at FSLR. A lot of them look good.
Well, they're squeezing with the IWM stuff because they're massively shorted too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sunrun and SolarEdge are massively shorted. I don't think that SolarEdge is ever going to make money as a company ever. That's not to say that it can't go up and it can't squeeze. It certainly
You can go to 50, dude.
Yeah, they could squeeze the hell out of that thing. It's a crazy stock, and the technicals do look decent, especially if it legs up through that 34. I am going to make a call on something that I very rarely trade and don't normally like, but I started a position in it. Just
Palantir?
No, I'm still short Palantir. That's been working. I think that Palantir is done. By the way, I think it's done.
I think our friends at CIA and Mossad disagree.
I think that they finally broke that stock, and I think it's done. I think that high in Palantir of like 190, I think might be a multi-year high in that stock. Actually,
I think you want it to be done, bro, because it's so annoying.
But they broke that thing. They finally filled that earnings gap. This trend is going to work on breaking, and
it's like a cockroach Palantir. It's so hard to kill.
No, but Derrick might, you might be right about it. It might be a longer term top.
That's what I think.
Depends on what the market does. It really depends on what the market does. But for now, it's for sure the top is in. For now, at least.
I think it's done. But that's not what I was even going to call. I was actually going to call something I rarely trade, GLD. This GLD consolidation, it's a multi-month consolidation that's tightening and tightening and tightening right now. I think it's setting up to break out a little bit further, especially as we're going into an interesting period of time here. Like the S&P looks great technically, like we were saying earlier, but we're going into this period of seasonal weakness, and there's a lot of headwinds as we're going into the September period. The systematics are pretty much completely done buying, and they could become sellers on the downside. And you got all this stuff going on with, the Fed, where I'm so disgusted to hear like these terms like soon we can get a majority in the Fed. It's not a thing. This is not a thing where it's Congress and the Senate and we can get a majority in the Fed like you can get it in Congress and the Senate. This is a disaster. The Fed is supposed to be independent. There is no majority that can come from it. You have that combined with the fact that we're turning into the People's Republic of the United States as we're buying Intel and Boeing and Lockheed Martin, and we're buying the shipbuilders and all this stuff. This is very, very concerning stuff. You have a beautiful looking chart in gold. I like gold. The only negative I could look at would be if the dollar squeezes higher, which I think is a potential because everybody's short it. You could get a short squeeze in the dollar. That might slow down the gold move. But gold looks great within the confines of all the nonsense that's going on right now.
Okay.
I agree 100% on the gold GLD. That's a beautiful chart, but on everything else that you said. But yeah, I love the GLD chart.
Okay. All right. JR, I see you
Yeah,
have
I
your
mean-
charts ready, so I'm getting.
Yeah, you don't have to pump me up on gold. I've been banging the gold drum for a minute. All right, let's take a look here. PNR, Pentair, it's trading below its relative value here, building a new base. I love this thing through $110.71. It's a $30 measured move, and you have a beautiful trend continuation off this, multi-month base. NXT. So NXT had a nice accumulative kind of like a rounding bottom here. Got a little messy. They tested the power pivot at 51, and now you have a nice tight base forming. 70.14 is your breakout. Your measured moves about $30. JP Morgan Chase. Usually I'd rather get an appendectomy with a rusty spoon before I trade the banks, but I think the banks are going to have a very strong next 6 months. You have a nice rounding bottom here that's about to turn into a small cup and handle in JP Morgan. As long as we build a nice right side base here, this looks like it's going to $370. RNA. You had a upthrust, distributed upthrust back in November of 2024, and then a beautiful rounding bottom with like a face C type of shakeout here. And then you're in a high tight flag right above that distributed point of control. I feel that we get through $49 here, and they're going to run this quickly to 56, and then maybe $80. I like RNA a lot. Uber, waiting for this to continue consolidating. Tesla's pain is usually Uber's gain. Waiting for a nice right side handle to form here. Break at 97.60 to 115.35 is what I like. Garmin, yes, I'm talking about freaking Garmin. Beggars can't be choosers. Another, not quite a cup and handle, but close enough. It's getting a very nice tight right side base on low volume. We get through 246.50. I'm looking for 270. MRUS. Not quite a high tight flag, but close enough. Through 68.18, I'm looking for a $25 measured move to about $93. Cummins, I think the industrials are about to see a whole new leg higher. Cummins, of course, the purveyors of diesel engines and machinery. This right side base here needs 2 or 3 more weeks to build. But once we get there, I'm looking for a $150 measured move to 558. SMA, this is a newer issue here. Reminds me of when A-Lab went live. We just crushed that one again. Break of 37.67 for an IPO-based breakout to 45, then 49. I like it. I'm watching it. Rambus, component maker extraordinaire. We're just starting to build a nice right side base here after a long period of basing and consolidation. Looking for 112 and 167, 127. Excuse me. Got 2 more. MGNI just broke out. It's on watch in our swing service for a break of 26.09. Looking for $40 ultimately. And Shell. You got a W bottom with a neckline break through 74.60, looking for 82. This one's a little messier. It's holding the 21. It's holding anchored view up. The volume's adjusted. The technicals look good. I think it goes. So that's what I'm watching, guys.
Beautiful. Okay, everybody out there, we hope you have a fun evening with Nvidia. And I think CRM is also, and Okta are also reporting tonight. So we wish you all the best. Okay, boys, thank you for joining me for another week of fun.
All right, fellas.
And we hope everybody comes back for us next week. But without all these nasty, inappropriate comments, we will not tolerate this. This is a family-friendly show. Everybody have a good day.